Richland One officials breaking ground Wednesday on the Vince Ford Early Learning Center after 3 years of fighting for approval. Nobody fought harder for the center than former Richland One board chair Vince Ford, who unexpectedly passed away in December.
50 years from today, whether I'm still here or not, that his name will still be spoken, that his story will still be told, and that's what's most important to me and my family.
From 1992 to 2016, Ford was a big part of the Richland One board and was inducted into the district's Hall of Fame in 2018. Ford was also a leader in the medical and business communities.
And long after all of us are gone, there's going to be children that's going to come to this center, and they're going to know who Vince Ford is.
As South Carolina test scores continue to struggle, officials say a center like this can help. The 71,000 square foot facility will focus on more than just classwork. It will offer health, dental, and mental health services for children in addition to education support. All things Vince Ford was passionate about.
And as my brother Vince Ford would often say, education costs what it costs.
That's right.
And if you're not willing to invest in the future of children, then why are we here?
Richland School District One now under investigation by the Office of the Inspector General over a construction project months in the making. The probe, initiated Monday, comes after a request from State Superintendent of Education Ellen Weaver, who received a letter on Friday from Representative Heather Bauer detailing concerns surrounding the Vince Ford Early Learning Center.
There has to be a stop to this, and it's been really hard to find ways to hold this board accountable. And I had promised my constituents to do everything in my power to help do that.
For background, the district broke ground on the 71,000 square foot facility originally meant to serve children from 6 weeks to 5 years old back in February of last year. But in a December 15th letter, the Department of Education's General Counsel informed District Superintendent Dr. Craig Witherspoon that the Department of Education could not issue a building permit for the facility because it isn't classified as a school. State law says the Department of Education must approve any district construction of a public school building. Despite the letter, construction continued for more than a month, and when asked by board member Barbara Weston about it on January 10th, Witherspoon made no mention of that letter.
Dr. Witherspoon, could you give us an update on the Early Childhood Center, either today or next meeting?
Yeah, we can provide that.
Thank you very much.
Construction came to an abrupt stop Friday when Richland One announced it would be adjusting plans for the facility to serve students in kindergarten through second grade, and the county issued a stop work order. Weaver writes that the district could be in violation of state law and says the work stoppage, quote, may have resulted in the loss of substantial public funds.
We've seen this time and time again with Richland One management, is that they tend to knee-jerk react and not really think things through. Similar to the teacher reallocations they did last year, it seems par for the course with this management. Sure, so in my time in office, it's been, a year and 2 months almost. This is the number one issue I've gotten most phone calls about, emails, text messages.
Is the district in your district?
Yes, yes, all of Richland One is in District 75. So this is the number one issue out of everything that we've come across at the state legislature that I've gotten calls about. So I take my job, seriously.
What kind of calls are those?
Those are called, mostly start with the teacher relocations that happened last fall. But like the title of this segment is, mold and rats. And I've gotten calls about not having enough janitors, buckets in the hallway, you name it. I've gotten a various number of phone calls. So I'm doing everything in my power as a state legislator. I take it seriously. I don't take a day for granted. And I want our district to be competitive. I want our students to succeed. And so I'm doing everything I can in my power with the colleagues that will work with me to improve the system.
Okay.
Today, we are hand delivering a letter to the governor asking him to request a state inspector general investigation of Richland School District One regarding potential allegations of mismanagement, misconduct, and organizational dysfunction by the district's leadership.
Clyburn held a press conference to discuss the issues surrounding Richland School District 1. Clyburn represents that area, and he discussed the recent calls for investigations into the district. Yesterday, Richland County lawmakers urged Governor McMaster to open an investigation into the school district alleging dysfunction and mismanagement. Clyburn says this is all a political agenda from Moms for Liberty. a controversial group founded in 2021 claiming it will empower parents to defend their rights. He claims the group is trying to get black school leaders replaced, and he calls the push to investigate a phony investigation.
Because there's something not right when every one of these school districts that are being called into question just happen to be headed by an African American. Every one of them. Something is not right with that. So I applaud the governor's office for deciding that this request that he investigate the Columbia School District, as he says, does not rise to the threshold that would require an investigation.
We know that a great education is the front door of the American dream. And I will tell you that my path to this job was not through the traditional education pathway. I worked on Capitol Hill, and I started a think tank that works in public policy. And I truly believe that saving our country starts with saving our schools. There is nothing more precious that God has created than the hearts and the minds of our young people. And that is what the radical woke left is after. Make no mistake, saving our country starts with saving our schools. These schools don't belong to educators. They don't belong to the elite. They belong to all of us.
Tonight, Richland School District One says they are moving forward with construction on the Vince Ford Early Learning Center.
Yeah, this comes after the Inspector General found no misuse of funds, but did say that the district did violate several ways and laws while starting work on the project.
At the beginning, and we say now, we are committed to the facility. There is a need for it, and we want to do it correctly and making sure, permit-wise and all those things, given the report that all those things are in place.
Craig Witherspoon, Superintendent, Richland County School District One. Going on 9 years now. Yeah. Well, it's been great. It's a great community. Here at a community meeting this evening. Wonderful staff, students, families, and we've seen a lot happen over these past few years. But been a really good experience. It's all about the children because that's why we're here. At the end of the day, that's why we have school systems. Oh, what's good for kids, and you don't want that to get lost in all of this. That's why we're here. The analogy I like to use is when something happens that, say, someone doesn't agree with, then, there's mismanagement. No, you disagree. And I'm okay with disagreement.
We're not being told the truth and things are not transparent, then we do have some questions about that. And I think that it's best for the community if we put it out there and let it be known what it is that we are concerned about. I will always, as you know, talk about what my concerns are and where I see things. And it may differ from other people, but it is still what I think is best for children. Being an educator for over 30 years, I think I know a little bit about children, and also being a recruiter for teachers. I know that teachers like to have an environment where they are appreciated and respected. And if that's not working, then we need to do something else, and that's what it's about.
Sure. Well, the assurance has been the same. No assurance has changed. It's like was discussed in there about how we address some of the issues that we have. We've had a process. Those assurances are given. We do acknowledge feedback. We do, as was indicated this evening, yes, we're making progress on various fronts, a lot of fronts. Is it as fast and as quickly as we want? No. But you can't deny there's progress being made.
Number one reason that teachers either stay or leave a school is the school leadership. That is the number one reason. And what was revealed about 18 months ago was that in Richland 1, teachers leave a school because of school leadership at 4 times the state average. That's something that we can do something about. It's something that we should have been doing something about for years, and we haven't. We've ignored it. And so now we've gotten to a place, and I said this 2 years ago, I said, we're hollowing out our schools. And I said, once the public begins to realize it, we will really be in trouble. We are there now. Everybody.
So I would say that's always been the case in terms of assurances. And what I will say moving forward, we will continue to do that. So that's not new or anything. We will continue to do what we've been doing, have input sessions and have means of communication, that feedback loop, if you will, that's been there.
Well, as a product of this region, as well, my sons went to school here. My grandkids are in school at Hopkins Elementary. So I'm invested in this community. First of all, there are absolutely more positive things going on than negative. Unfortunately, the negative gets highlighted a little more. So I am glad to be a part of this meeting to hear the phenomenal things that are going on with our schools. I could not have been prouder. And those principals were talking about things that were going on with their school. And I was being a cheerleader saying, yeah, get the word out. Because sometimes negativity takes over like weeds, and the grass is there, but the weeds choke it out. So we are getting rid of the weeds. We are doing the things that should be done, but we're highlighting the wonderful things that are going on with this district. And every day I go to the State House, I tell my colleagues one thing: do not make faceless decisions. Don't make decisions based on data. Don't make decisions based on analytics. Base them on human beings and their experience. And what I try to convince policymakers all the time is that you can't have a blanket policy for everybody, because quite honestly, some of the students in the affluent areas of Greenville, they have less challenges than some of the students down in North Richland. So my goal is to make sure the Lower Richland communities all over South Carolina, not just here, they get their fair share.